We're inside the vehicle assembly building here at the Kennedy Space Center. There are a lot of operations going on right now. We're renovating the entire facility to prepare for the SLS and Orion, which is the vehicle and the spacecraft that's going to take us to Mars and beyond. So if you take a look around, you can see maintenance operations. We have one of the largest buildings on the planet by volume here, filled with crawler, filled with cranes, filled with construction crews. We're just really excited that all this is going on right now.
I personally prefer a sound. And then, of course, the next thing we're going to need is some water. And I have some water right here. And so here is some water. Obviously, less useful for making tea. So that, this is solid water, right? You're all very familiar with this. But if we apply some heat, we will melt it, and we will get it up to around 0 centigrade. Sorry, 32 Fahrenheit, imperial units. We will produce this liquidy stuff, which I can use a drop of right now. But if I could address you, America, directly at this moment. America, I love you. You make wonderful things. You make the MMS spacecraft some of the most incredible machines ever built by man. But you can't make a cup of tea. It's really not hard. I mean, unfortunately, many of us believe that you make tea by pouring boiled water over tea. That is not true. You make tea by pouring boiling water over tea. Boiling. And I just got some here. So 100 degrees centigrade. Some people know that in Fahrenheit. I'm sorry, thinking
212.
Thank you. So here I just boiled this up, and you can see, can you see the steam coming off of it? That's a good sign that you're going to make a good cup of tea. So as the steam comes off, I want you to realize, of course, we've now entered our third state of matter. We have a gas. So here we have our solid, we have our liquid, and here we have a gas. And here we have some milk. But there is another place that we can take this to. What if I was to take the steam and gather it together and then heat the steam, and I keep heating and heating and heating until thousands and thousands of degrees? There's a fourth place I can take this to. There's a fourth state of matter, and that is a plasma. So, let me go do this properly. So plasma is essentially, what we would do is we would take the steam and we would put so much energy in, we would tear the hydrogen and oxygen apart. And then we would apply even more energy, and we would take the electrons from the hydrogen and that oxygen, and we would tear the electrons off. And now we will have a soup of ions and some electrons. And so the ion bits were in the middle and the electrons going on. And this is a plasma. And the reason why I can't make you a nice little cup of plasma tea right now is, as you can understand, it's incredibly rare on the Earth. To get that kind of temperature is extraordinarily difficult. So really, the only places that you'd see it is in, say, a bolt of lightning or a rocket exhaust. So tonight, be watching the plume. We have a machine that will make some plasma for us, and it's called the Atlas V rocket. And that's really what a plasma is. So obviously, if we want to study plasmas, because they're so rare on the Earth, we need to go to where they're common, which is space.
Is in the box here, and we're taking the lid off, and we're at UK Scientist here. Just delivery of the spacecraft and receiving inspection. This here is, that last picture was the booster, Atlas booster being loaded onto the Mariner in Decatur, Alabama, and then offloaded here at Cape Canaveral. So it's rolling out, it's already here on this, and that's the booster, and the Centaur being loaded into the Atlas Spaceflight Operations Center. At the same time we're doing that, we're processing the spacecraft at Astrotech, getting ready for the day, for tonight. The booster's already erected, and some of the pictures I showed before. The Centaur is getting ready to go up there. See that? And the Centaur is up and about to be mated. So here's some of the solid rocket motors that are going on top. This is the one that's on the north side. There's the Centaur being mated to the top of the launch vehicle. That's the spacecraft. They're over at Astrotech, and they're doing some final inspections and mating it to the payload adapter. That spacecraft doing their final closeouts. And this is the encapsulation process. We're putting the payload fairing around the 4 MMS payloads. And we roll out early in the morning, so so as not to upset traffic, and be at VIF at 5:30 in the morning, ready for an entire day. Because it takes the rest of the day to install us on top of the launch vehicle. So we start early. And it's just about there, and we've already launched, you can see.
It's a nice look into the future,
That's
but
right.
hopefully we'll
That's
not
right.
what happens tonight.
Do we have any questions about the rocket and trajectories from the audience?